So two things. You can japa and japa to your breakthrough, and you do well, opportunities, you get a job. Like for example, Abraham left his father's house and he jackpot and he into his destiny. But Lot too jackpot. But he jackpot thinking it was a greener pasture, thinking it's a better city, thinking of, but we know what the story ended. It wasn't as green as we thought it was going to be. In fact, God even destroyed the city.
Now, we hear about the Japa Syndrome, and we call those who have left Nigeria, those who have relocated away from Nigeria, we call them the Japararians. We're just jokingly, right? But it's become a syndrome because it's an increasing, phenomenon, right, in Nigeria. If we look at statistics from about 1990 to date, it has been on the rise, and now more than ever. And the question is why? What's happening? Why are many Nigerians leaving? Why are they leaving the country? I, on one hand, I found out people say, oh, maybe because they feel the pasture is greener out there. Some say, oh, power, some say insecurity. Is that really the reason?
So two things. You can japa and japa to your breakthrough, and you do well, opportunities, you get a job. Like for example, Abraham left his father's house and he jackpot and he into his destiny. But Lot too jackpot. But he jackpot thinking it was a greener pasture, thinking it's a better city, thinking of, but we know what the story ended. It wasn't as green as we thought it was going to be. In fact, God even destroyed the city. So for me, all I would say is before you do that, make that leap, do your due diligence properly. Don't just say because, and then some people lie to us and say, abroad is nice. Abroad, they're not telling the truth. One, two, I don't want to say conviction, but are you hearing the right thing that God has said you should move? Because sometimes people make money in this Nigeria now. People become millionaires. They don't necessarily have to jackpot.
Yeah.
So for me, information is very key.
Yeah.
Don't go there and become, some people say, when I get there, I'll figure it out. Yes, it works for some people it doesn't work for. Be well informed. You know what it is, because then laws change every time. You go there and last year they say if you give this one, that one, the next thing then laws change and you're stuck. You can't come home, you can't go anywhere. So for me, be well informed, know where you're going to, and the laws they're favorable to you, to your circumstance. Then people say, oh, because Wura went, me too I can go. Forgetting that Wura has some other things that you don't have. So information is very key. Get the right people to give you the right information, because some people lie. They are Brodians. They will tell you that, oh, don't worry, you get a good job. Next thing you're realizing they're doing odd jobs. I hear when bank managers resign, or people, entrepreneurs who have set up businesses here, they sell off their businesses, sell off their homes, sell off their cars, and then they go. And then when they now get there, they can't come back. Because there's nothing to come back to. No home. No, I don't forget, if people say, oh, let them come back. But can they come back? Because remember that the money you were earning, let's say, okay, you come back to the money you were earning before. You're earning that money in your house. You're not paying rent. You're earning that, maybe that your position, executive, they help you pay your student school fees. But you're coming back now, starting afresh, no rent, no house, no school fees, no. So sometimes, but I still tell you, come back. If you know that the abroad is not abroad, come back. Home is still home. And at the same time, it works for some people, it doesn't work for some people. Know where to, like you say, know when to fold, know when to re-strategize, know when to, do things that don't just live in limbo and say, when I get there, I'll figure it out.
Exactly.
It's hard.
One of the reasons they don't want to come back is because they feel immersed.
Shame.
They feel that shame. That, when I come back, all the years I've been posting pictures, I've been doing well, life was good, etc. Because sometimes they create a
facade, a picture that we're living well.
Exactly. Whereas it's really not the case. Because I've had to talk with a few ladies, in the country I went to, And I was trying to, because I saw them prostituting, and I wanted to know why. I got to ask them, these girls, I'm telling you, when I heard their ages, they're less than 20. Yes, because you could even see from their body, they were really like small girls.
Wow.
And I really wanted to know, okay, where are your parents? Oh, they're in the village, they're in Nigeria. Okay, so what are you doing here all alone? And so, in fact, they don't have papers, their visa expired, they were in the country, and I said, okay, why don't you just go back home instead of all this, whatever you're doing? Because even the men that sleep with them, they were sitting down near a mosque, waiting for the prayer, whatever, to end. And they were hoping that men going back home, I don't
pick them up.
Yeah, will pick them up. And that was where I got concerned because I knew these were Nigerian girls. So I got talking to them. I tried to invite them to meet me some of the time, and I really wanted to know more about them. And they kept saying, we'll go back after some time. And I said, why not now? Now, guess what? They still feel they can still stay there and make
some money.
Make some money before they go back. But guess what? You don't have a legitimate visa. You don't have a work permit. So you're not going to get any decent job. Nobody will want to hire you because if they hire you, they can also be So it's like life in a limbo, right? There's no concrete plan, no concrete justification for any job or any should I say concrete what's you having credentials or anything or qualification. Yeah, because once you don't have a work permit, it's illegal, right? So why don't you just come home? I said, come home, start all over again and whatever. They just were adamant about it.
And that's a lot of people who don't realize that some people actually have come back home and they made it.
Yes.
They've come back home.
And
and we're not saying it's not easy. We're not saying it's going to be easy. Yes, but they've come back home and their life is way better.
Yes.
Because I realized that why would I want to be somewhere I can't walk, I can't do this, I can't do that. But they always believe in that if I still do odd jobs, if I still do this, I can still, and then to be honest online, unemployment is on the high in Nigeria. And they feel that they make more money in their abroad than in Nigeria. But at the same time, is money everything? Sometimes peace of mind, because where you are, you don't have peace of mind because in case the nation can pick you or police can pick you up. But why not just come back and legitimately find something else to do? I know it's easy, please don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it's easier easier said than done.
No.
But I'd rather us come to our country and develop ourselves in the entrepreneurship, if it's going back to school, if it's whatever, it's still better than living in a unsettled, police today, immigration tomorrow.
Exactly.
I just believe that when you come and with your family, with your things can happen because people japa for the right reasons. People get work. The UK or US or Canada or Australia, they have work permits even for the left. Yes, that's perfect. You can do that. But you're not saying when I get there, I'll figure
it out. No papers.
Jeez,
You don't know the laws of the land.
Exactly.
I know of a family who relocated as well. Mother, son, daughter sold off everything they owned, and that's very common now. They sell off everything. Some even borrow money and all of that, and they just go there. And they are left at the mercy of the laws of that country and all of that. And sometimes it's so damaging that they don't know what to fall back on, where to go. So they end up doing whatever is available for them to do. And you see a lot of people being deceived by all sorts of agents.
Yes.
They'll tell you, there's
bring your hand money, there's this
and all of that.
and they disappear.
When you now get to the country, it turns out to be some kind of trafficking. They have been victims of trafficking as well. And some of them get trapped. They don't know because there's a cartel running the whole show. So they're so afraid. They're left at the mercy of these dangerous people. And there's nothing else they can do about it except to seek for help. Thankfully, some have been rescued, but there's still many that are going through the same problem. I would like to commend some countries that do some kind of repatriation program.
Nigeria is in that
yes. Many have been deported who don't have have papers, and I think it's a welcome development. If at any stage you find that I don't even have money to come back home, and I don't even know, I'm not doing well in this country I've gone to that I thought was good, and it's like, just forget it.
Reach
You
out
are
to
loved here,
Mhm.
you know. It's,
Reach out
it's
to your
very
home
important
country,
that you have,
and then
yes, and then see how you can start and take it up from there. You understand? That's my own advice. And just like you said, we need to seek the face of God for direction. Abraham moved when God said he should
you
move.
should move.
So that is why every step he made, God blessed.
Mm-hmm.
But when Lot moved due to the green pasture in quotes that he saw, we can see how he ended. You understand? So we have so many examples from the Bible. And this is just one of our ways of saying, please look before
You leap.
you understand. Don't just do things because everyone is doing it. Learn the laws of the house. Just read about the laws of the place
Information,
before you go there. Information is key. You understand? It's not every country that gives citizenship when and look at Libya, for instance. You know that I had to deport some Nigerians. You know, people see Libya as a transit point to Europe. You understand? So many
But they
people
die,
get stranded
they
there,
die in the desert.
you know, they're just left at the mercy. Your life has value.
Value,
Your life
yes.
is worth something.
Yes.
God created you for a purpose.
Yes.
If you find out why you were created, you understand, seek the face of your maker to know why you were created, and then let him be the one to guide you and direct you. You understand? And we pray that the lines will fall onto us in pleasant places by the grace of God. We're just concerned, you know, if it's not working out, please
Come back
home. You're loved here. You may have a family, people that will support you and love you and help you out, you know, in one way or the other. And then you'll also be able to maintain your dignity. You don't have to go into a life of crime, a life of, you know, having to do some funny things in order to survive. Of course, there's a lot of brain drain. In as much as we would have loved for our brains to remain in Nigeria and give to Nigeria, the truth is, man in himself looks out for himself, right? We all look out for ourselves. So if I'm a medical doctor and the highest paid I can get, paying job I can get is probably maybe 200, 300,000. And I know that if I go to another country, I'm going to get much more than that. As a human being, I will
want that.
prefer the option. So we're not saying don't japa, but do it the right way. Do it the legitimate way.
Yes.
Don't make yourself an illegal immigrant. You know that.
Don't shortchange yourself.
Yeah, don't shortchange yourself. So that's our advice for you today.
Take it easy. See you next week.